Hi, this is Jacob from GLFR, and I want to welcome you to this short introduction to the communities feature in GLFR. In this video, I will show you how you as a club get the most out of the communities, what to use them for, and I will end up with a demo on how you actually do all of the things you need to do in the communities. Let's jump right into the introduction. So first of all, what are these communities? Communities in GLFR is a way to create groups for your members and golfers inside of your club app. It's a way for you to segment your communication and ensure that your members and your guests can engage with the content that you share. Everything you create as a club is created inside the GLFR business platform and can then be shared with all of your groups and segments of players directly into the app where your members and guests can find all of your communities inside the GLFR app. And what could these communities be? Some of the most common ones we've mentioned here, the easy ones are like your men's clubs, ladies section, juniors, seniors, volunteers, and all of these other very natural groups you have in your club. The clubs that have already taken communities into their club are also adding stuff like a sponsor group, a business club, and maybe your greenkeeper's corner to keep your members informed. The basic idea here is that you can create all of the communities you want for your club and manage them the way you want it inside of your club app. One really important thing about our communities inside GLFR is that you can create a completely new user role that we call your community manager. A community manager has access to one or more specific communities, but cannot access anything else inside GLFR Business. So they can't get into your course guides, your sponsors, your greenkeeper tools, or whatever else it is you have inside GLFR Business. They can only access the specific communities you add them to. So you could add your head of your men's section to specifically your men's section community, and they will only be able to manage and see that specific community. The general idea here is that this is a way for you to share the workload with people who are maybe better at it or have more time specifically for this task. Their job will be to keep the community nice and thriving and add new content. And then you don't have to think about, oh, we need to post this for the member section or the greenkeeper's corner or for the volunteers. Let the people that actually need access do that for you. One specific thing about the community manager is that as they cannot access anything else inside the GLFR business platform, you can also add people who are not a staff at your golf club. So that could be the parent who is really big at volunteering for your juniors, or the member who runs the volunteer section, or whoever it is. You can add a user and make them a community manager for one or more specific communities. Another important thing that you can do with communities is you can set the privacy of a community. Setting the privacy limits who can and who cannot join your community. As a default, communities are open to the public, so anyone can see them in the GLFR app and anyone can join them, just as the volunteers group here in the example in the slides. But if you have a group that is only for a specific set of people, you can make it private so only they can join it. In this example, that could be, for example, your men's section. To join the men's section on the demo club right here, you need a 4-digit PIN code that only you can find inside GLFR Business. Note that your community manager can also find this and help people become a member. This is a great way to differentiate who gets into your community, so you can have some communities that are public. That could be Greenkeeper's Corner, it could be from your restaurant, so even your members and guests can see what happens in the restaurant, or maybe good offers from your pro shop. Or you can have these private communities where you can have content shared that only the members can see, whatever that fits in your golf club. Another way to add members to a private community is by importing them into the community if you have a CSV or Excel file of all of the correct users, you can actually import them directly, so they don't even need the code. They will just have access the next time they open up the app. Let's look at this, how to do some of these things a little later. Another really good thing about these communities, as I already mentioned, is that these are a way to segment your communication. You probably already know that you can send out push notifications for your news in your club and for the course status in your club. Both of these kinds of messages, they will reach all of your members. But a lot of the communication that you or your community managers make does not affect all of your members. When is the next volunteer day? What's the next tournament in the men's section? Will someone sign up to the Christmas market or whatever it is you arrange at your golf club? These things might be smaller groups, and this is what you can use a community for. Just like with news, when you post something inside Golf for Business, all of the members of your community will get a push notification. They can read all of the content directly inside the app. And one of the new really good things about the communities are that people can engage and share content, so they can actually comment, add pictures and stuff like that directly in the community. And this is another good thing because you can actually let your members and the community manager run the community. You might not even have to do anything except from, of course, set it up and let it live its own life. That's a really great thing about communities that we hope really will take off in your club. Okay, that was a lot about what the communities are. Let's try it out. As I say here on this slide, everything about managing and sharing content from the club is done directly inside Golf for Business at business.golfer.com. I will show that in a second. All of the user-driven content, so the members of the community, that is done directly from the Golfer app. So it's like we have two very specific ways to engage inside the community. Official communication comes from Golf for Business. Player or member communication comes from inside the Golfer app itself. So let's jump into Golf for Business. If you already have access to the communities module, you will see it in the main menu in the left. Let's go in here. If it's your first time on your club inside the communities, you will be met with a small workflow of creating your own communities, and they will look a lot like the ones I have down here. The idea is that you can get started fast, and of course, we will help you write a little text, add some images. You can always change both images and text if you want to. In this case, I already have some communities set up, and I will show how to create another one. I will click Create New Community. First off, we've decided that all communities needs a great image, so I have already created one here. And my new community will be a Find a Golfer community, somewhere where my members can talk to each other and find new players to play with. Let's call that Find a Golfer. Find a Golfer, just like that. And I have prepared a little text for it. That could be this one. Let me just copy this. Right there. And click Create Community. And just like that, we have a community with a really long description. And as I mentioned, we can edit all of this later. I click on it to go in here. And as I see, of course, there are no posts yet. There are no members yet. And I can edit all of the details. Let's start off by thinking, okay, this was maybe a little long. We'll just say, use this community to find new players to play with. Just like that. Maybe add an emoji or two just to make it a little more fun for your users. Let's click Save on that. So it's really easy for you to create something and edit it a little if you think you want to change it. And now a few of the settings on the communities. Right down here, I have the privacy. This is where I decide whether the community is public or private. As mentioned, it is public as a default. When I created it, maybe you noticed there was a little check mark saying I wanted to make it private. And you can do that already when you create it. But let's just try making it private from in here. I clicked it, and now you see the community is private, and I have a pin code here to join it. So right now, if players want to join the community from the Golfer app, they have to put in JOBX to join the community. If the code leaks out and someone joins that you don't want to join, you can always generate a new code, click OK, and now it's MLSR. So this code is randomly generated, and you can always switch it out. But as this community is for everyone to use to find someone new to play with, make it a public community again. The next step down here is user posts. This defines whether your users or your members can add new content inside the community. Again, as a default, it is allowed. And in my Find a Golfer community, this of course makes sense. But if it's maybe your restaurant community where they post the daily meal or weekly special or whatever it is, maybe you don't want your members to add content inside that community. It could also be your Greenkeeper's Corner or whatever it is you think. You simply uncheck right here, and then users cannot post inside your community. I'll check it again so users can post into the Find a Golfer. Last but not least, down here, you manage your community managers. This is where you add the users who you want to manage this specific community. The first thing you have to do if you want to add a community manager is going into users and add the new user. Click the plus in the bottom right, and I will create a new one called John Golfer. Let's give him the email John plus community@golfer.com. Of course, use the email of the actual person. And in this drop down for the user role, you will find community manager. Check that and click create. Now, as you see up here, John Golfer has been created. John Golfer receives an email where he sets his password and stuff like that. And once he logs in, he will only be able to see the communities tab over here. And then you have to assign your new community manager to one or more of your communities. Let's make John a community manager for the Find a Golfer community. First off, click into the community, go into details, and scroll down to community managers. If you don't see him yet down here, simply refresh the page on F5 or Control R, and he will show up down here. It's just a caching thing in the browser. And since I want John to be a community manager of Find a Golfer, I'll simply click the plus down here, and now he's a manager here. So now John can manage Find a Golfer. He can add new managers, he can add posts, he can reply to members, he can change the settings of privacy and user posts and stuff like that, but he cannot see all of my other communities. So that's really, really nice. You can add any number of community managers to your community that you want. And as mentioned before, it can also be users who do not work at your club. Okay, let's skip back to my slideshow and into the Golfer app for a few seconds. Go back there and there. So I will open up the Golfer app. I have it right here. And in here, I now want to be a member of the Find a Golfer community on the demo club that I'm already have here as my home club. I will click go to club. And then here I have the complete list of all the communities. And somewhere down here, we have the Find a Golfer community. And as you see, I can just click, in this case, it says deltage, which is the Danish word for join the community. I will click join, and right there, and now I am a member of the community. It is as simple as that for your members to join a public community. What happens then is if I go back to the homepage of the Golfer app, I will have community in the bottom right down here. And in here, I have all of the communities that I am a member of. I have the ladies section. I have, I don't know what I'm doing in the ladies section. I have the volunteers. I have the shop at my local club. And right at the bottom here, and I now have the Find a Golfer community. And it tells me that there are no posts yet. So let's change that. I will jump back into Golfer Business right there. And in here, we will add the first post. When you post as a club, you click the create new post section here, and it looks a lot like adding news and stuff like that inside Golf for Business already. Once again, I will add a picture, and I'll just reuse this one because this is the first post. Maybe just zoom in a little on these guys so it's not completely the same. Click upload and maybe add a title that could be like that. Copying emojis isn't really working, so let's just add a smiley and add some text. We will take the text that we used for the community when we started it, just like that. And one really important thing to notice here is that here you have the option to set up whether you want a push notification or not. Let's close down all of the things on my app right there. And now I will send out this with a push notification. And this push notification will go out to all the members, which is just me right now. So let's click post. And this is now the first post inside of the community. And if we open up my app again, it went there. You see that I got a new push notification. It's the Find a Golfer. Hi, everyone. You see the image, you see the text. And when I click it as a user, I jump directly into this post inside the community, and I can, let's add really great idea, just like that. So now I am already engaging as a member of this community, and you can actually just let this community go in your club and let your users use it the way they want to. Let's have a quick look at what that looks like inside Golf for Business. I will do a short refresh. And now, as you see, my post as a member is right here, or my comment, and you can add new comments as a club. You can also change it and actually use your club name as the sender, the author of a comment, or the default is to reply on behalf of the community. There's a little difference there depending on who actually answers, and you can change that simply by clicking the image, just like you'd know it from on Facebook and stuff like that. Let's just say welcome to Jacob in this case, just like that. So it's really easy to engage with your members and all of the members of your community. Let's do one more thing, because now I'm a member and I want to create my first post inside the community because I want to play golf in the weekend. Let's jump right back into the app, just like that. I will go back right here. And now you see the post here in my community feed, and I will click add a new post. So up here, I will write golf in the weekend, just like that. And I pasted some text, just like that. That's fine. And maybe just to make it a little better and a little more alive, I will add an image, just like that. And click OK. And now the image is joined, so everyone can see that I'm a smiling, happy dude that just wants to go play golf. I will post that. And now that is posted onto the community, everyone else can see it, who is a member of the community, of course. And inside Golf for Business, once again, a quick refresh. And now I can see the new post. And as a club, I could comment if that made sense, and so on and so forth. So it's really easy for your members to engage, create more content, share images. They can reply with images. And it's really good to use for all of your different groups and communications inside of your golf club. This was a quick and dirty version of how the communities work inside Golf for Business. And I really hope that you will get started with it and have all of your members onboarded onto it. One last thing that I mentioned is that you can also import members into your community. We will create a separate video about this, so you can find that in our support center on how you actually import it. But the short version is that if you have a CSV or Excel file of all of your members or the people who need to be inside this community, you can simply import them and they will be added to this member list at once. And when they open up the GLFR app, they will already be a part of your new community. Thank you so much for listening to my video, and I hope I will see you soon again. This has been Jacob from GLFR. Have a great day.